Hey, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Brand OTC, a brand over the counter where I answer your branding questions with a full over the counter product. So today's product is called PersonaVive, and it brings your brand's personality to life so your audience can feel connected with you. So if you're struggling with bland identity, lack of differentiation, or weak audience engagement, this is the episode for you. So, hey, my name is Cynthia Akita, and I'm your brand strategist, designer, and educator here at the Design Firmacy. And today's question is, what is brand personality and why is it important? And so, when you're building your brand, a lot of us kind of think more about the visuals, but our brand has a personality, in addition with the visuals. Our personality is shown in our visuals. And just like people, when we have a strong brand personality, it makes us more memorable, it makes us more relatable, and it makes it easier for our brands to be trusted. And so we're going to break that down now. Let's start with what exactly is a brand personality. Just like a regular personality, it is the set of human-like traits and characteristics that are assigned to your brand. And so, for example, when you think about Nike, you think about boldness. You think about being driven. When you think about Apple, you think about, sleek, clean, and innovative. And brand personality is just so important because number one, it creates emotional connections. Now, people can relate with a brand that feels like them. It's just a natural thing for human beings to want to connect with something. No matter what it is, we strive for connection, and brand personality gives an opportunity for that connection to happen. The second thing is that it differentiates your brand. And so it helps you to stand out beyond just your visuals. Visuals are one part of building a brand, but the personality, the thing that people feel, again, the thing that they connect with, is another thing that helps you to stand out compared to the person that's standing next to you. Think about it like as a person. I always say you're building an invisible representative of your business, of your brand. And so let's say, you meet two people, they're dressed the same way, right? They have a red shirt on and some yellow pants. That's weird. Not weird, but like different, right? It stands out. But then you meet the person on the left and they are just bubbly and happy and telling jokes. And the person on the right is just very calm and to themselves. And, they look the same. Maybe they even have the same hairstyle in accordance with, the red top and yellow pants, but their personalities are completely different. And the same applies to businesses as well. The same applies to your brand. And so having a brand personality helps you to differentiate yourself from the next person or your competition. The third thing is that it actually guides your communication. And so it helps to determine the tone of voice that you speak with, how your messaging is done, and the style that you have overall. And so when you have traits that characterize your personality, you may consider, again, your tone of voice. Is your brand funny? Is it serious? Is it caring? Is it bold? If you are working with women who are pregnant, you would want to have more of a caring tone, right? Because that's a very sensitive time of their life. Their bodies are vulnerable, their emotions are vulnerable. Everything is vulnerable because they're carrying such a precious thing inside of them. And so that's just an example of, how you would speak. You wouldn't say, think of like a rock voice and you're just yelling at a pregnant woman. Like you wouldn't do that because that doesn't make sense for your brand, right? Well, hopefully it doesn't make sense for your brand. You're the only one who can build your brand, so I can't really tell you. And so I would hope that you would be a bit more caring and compassionate, in your personality. Another thing is your style and your expression. So maybe a brand can be more minimalist, maybe it can be more loud or refined or playful. Most kids' brands tend to err on the side of playfulness because that's just what kids like. That's how kids are. They're playful, carefree, they don't think too deeply. And so your brand may want to emulate that so that it can relate better to children, right? If that's something that you do. You can also focus on your values and your beliefs. So are you really big into justice? Are you big into freedom? Are you big into creativity? Are you big into having traditions? Like, what are those things that are really important for you, because they also play a part in your personality or in your brand's personality. Now, the question now is, how does this translate to branding? So when you focus on your tone of voice, for example, Wendy's is a great example. They are fun, they are witty, they are quirky. They use a lot of humor in their interactions and their copy. And it really makes people feel happy about the brand, because typically, in the past, businesses were just strictly about being professional and, that corporate speak and all of that stuff. But Wendy's really took it to another level with their Twitter account, where they clap back. They clap all the way back. You can say whatever you want to say about Wendy's, but know that Wendy's is going to speak their mind when they respond back to you, okay? And that's their personality. They're known for it. People enjoy it. Maybe there are a few people who don't, but you know that that's not their audience, right? And so we don't have to focus so much about those people. The next thing is your design and your visuals. So you may have some bold colors for brands that are more adventurous, and maybe for softer tones for the more nurturing ones. Bringing it back to babies, you may have some nudes, or depending on what age the child is when they're first born, you may have more like the nude colors, the grays, very soft earth tones. And then when they get to like preschool, then you have more of the red, like the rainbow colors, because that will get more of their attention, and it speaks more to that bold energy that they're going to have now that they've grown up a bit, and they can run around and jump around and toss themselves off of things, because that's what kids do, right? Now, the next thing is your messaging and your content. So, motivational messages for inspiring brands is an option versus having a detailed guide for a more analytical brand. And a more analytical brand is not going to worry too much about having a casual tone, because they have a very specific audience. The people that they're talking to speak like them. They're very analytic. They use certain terminology. And so, your messaging, your content is affected by your personality. And then overall, your customer experience is also affected. And so, a luxury brand might want to be more exclusive, whereas a family focused brand wants to feel warm and inclusive. So the opposite kind of a feel. Now, the danger with not having a personality is that without a personality, your brand will easily become forgettable. I mean, I think in a lot of like high school scene movies, you typically see that person that no one talks to. They sit by themselves at lunch, because no one has really gotten a chance to know them and see their personality, because their personality is not as loud as the other ones that are in the room. And so when you don't have that personality, your competitors will easily outshine you. They will easily get your potential clients, because they're more out there. Their personality is more attractive for who they're trying to bring into their store or their shop, or to serve, whatever it may be. And so, let's say you're a skincare brand and you don't really have a voice. You just put your product out there. You don't really back it with anything. You are more likely to get overlooked versus a brand that has, the right visual pieces, the right visual assets, colors, messaging, and all of those things. They are more likely to get all of the clients that you're looking for, because they decided to pay a bit more attention to developing that personality that would elicit a response. So some steps that you can use to define your brand personality is ask yourself, if my brand were a person, how would it act? How would it speak? And how would it dress? Then you want to go ahead and pick 3 to 5 traits that will define your brand. So once you pick those traits, you want to make sure you align your visuals, your messaging, and your offers to that trait, or to those traits. You want them to match. If they don't match, then something is amiss somewhere, right? And then you go ahead and you test it with your audience and say, hey, we're working on our personality and making our messaging a bit stronger. So, what do you feel about this design versus this design? How did it make you feel? How did it make you respond? Does it resonate with you? And then you can go ahead and take that feedback and tweak it and work on it until it feels like it truly belongs to your brand. So, again, your brand personality is what makes your business feel more human. When it's clearly defined, it gives your brand a heartbeat, it makes it relatable, and it also ensures that your audience will see you as more than just another option, but the option, the only option. And so, if you want to learn more about how to make your brand feel more human, I want you to join our free group, Personify My Brand, by visiting personifymybrand.com/group. It is free, and you'll also be able to take your Brand Vitals assessment in there for free as well. So go ahead and visit the link, join, invite your business besties, invite your other besties, whoever fits in. Go ahead and ask them to join if they're thinking about starting a business. If they have a business and it's not really going anywhere, this is the place that they want to be. So go ahead and invite them in and also join yourself. All right. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye. Discover what sets your brand apart, then say it with confidence. What's Your Secret Sauce is a free 3-day challenge designed to help entrepreneurs uncover the unique flavor that makes their brand unforgettable. Through guided prompts, live training, and powerful clarity exercises, you'll identify what truly sets you apart and how to communicate it in a way that connects and converts. If you've ever struggled to stand out in a crowded market or explain what makes you different, this challenge will give you the breakthrough you need. You'll walk away with your personalized secret sauce recipe, a clear, compelling blend of your brand's strengths, purpose, and positioning that makes selling feel natural. Join us by visiting brandmysecretsauce.com. You're doing all the things: posting content, updating your website, running ads, tweaking your offers, but still wondering, why isn't this working? Truth is, you might be focusing on areas that look productive, but aren't actually moving the needle. The Brand Vitals assessment helps you stop guessing and start targeting. It's like a wellness checkup, but for your brand. You'll gain crystal clear insight into the 9 essential areas every brand needs to thrive. No fluff, no filler, just facts about where your brand stands and what needs your focus. Because clarity is the first step to real momentum. And when you know where to focus, you start to see progress, not just activity. Get out of busy work. Get into brand building that actually works. Take the Brand Vitals assessment now. Have you tapped into your Firmacy benefits? As a beneficiary, you unlock special offers, gifts, and always stay in the loop. Subscribe today to receive your exclusive dose. Visit firmacybenefits.com.